HasanAbi corporate. I don't even know what that is. Let's continue.
With the breaking news, have you heard overnight after nearly 5 months on the picket line, the Writers Guild says a tentative deal has been reached to end the Hollywood strike. Oh, we all hope so. So we don't know all the details just yet, but there are signs that the writers may have cause to celebrate. Lise Preston is in Los Angeles. She's been following this story. Lise, good morning to you. A lot of people are saying, please, please, please let it be true. What do we know?
Good morning to you, Gail. This has been a long time coming, 146 days to be exact, for the union's 11,000 writers. While it still could be weeks until they get back to work, working conditions and demands like higher pay and residuals could be significantly improved. Striking members of the Writers Guild of America were out in force over the weekend, even as marathon negotiations, which at times included the top brass of 4 major studios, indicated their work stoppage might soon be over.
Hopeful. Fingers, toes, eyes, like everything crossed for a resolution.
And late Sunday, it came. In a joint statement, the WGA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers said they've reached a tentative agreement for a new 3-year contract.
Just, you know, full support to the WGA and so much respect for them that they like went back, obviously had to go back to the negotiations table with people who have openly floated to industry publications, to trade publications, that they wanted them to die. Like, and when this happens, when this negotiation is happening, you have to understand, like the people that are sitting across from the table on the AMPTP side, some of those people have openly talked about how they want the writers to die. like they want them to go homeless, go broke, and possibly die until they can come back to the table and be like, okay, we fucked up. So, you know, just remember that. Like, it's so
Tracked.
Hollywood is breathing a huge sigh of relief.
Matthew Bellany is a founding partner of Puck News. While the details of the agreement are officially still under wraps while the contract is finalized, Bellany says he's learned the writers are getting significantly more than what the studios were offering before the strike.
They made gains on AI. They got protections against their work.
Yeah, SAG-AFTRA is still on strike, but I mean, dude, once this came down, the SAG-AFTRA thing is also, they will negotiate with them too.
Work being used in AI models. They also made gains on minimum staffing. This is the number of writers that are contractually required to be used on a TV show.
There were joyful reactions on social media, especially from actors whose own strike negotiations have stalled. From Mindy Kaling, can't wait to go back to work and see my people. LeVar Burton, this is a huge...
Wait, I don't get it. I thought everybody loved strikes and nobody wanted to work anymore. It seems like a lot of people are excited to go back to work. This seems shocking to me.
Step in the right direction. And from Quinta Brunson, a simple, we're back, baby.
Yes, for the record, now that this has been sorted, the SAG-AFTRA one will be sorted under similar boundaries as well. Of course, this is not fully done yet. Obviously, now that the negotiations are done, what they're going to do, didn't they only start concession talks because California was going to give striking workers unemployment insurance? Yeah, I think that might have played a role in it. We don't know. Gruesome Governor Gavin Newsom might have, put his finger on the fucking scales a little bit. But overall, I think it's just like there's too much you're losing out on when you continue the work stoppage, especially with SAG-AFTRA also there. I'm legit on the edge of homelessness, can't really afford food, my medication, but hey, good, as long as the rich can stay rich, right? Not like I worked on Barbie and 7 Marvel movies for all... Wait, what? Only for them to take all the money? Yeah, I mean, the other chatter didn't understand what this person was saying. No, this person is saying that like they're part of the WGA probably, or maybe IATSE. Chatter, you misunderstood what they were saying. They're not anti-solidarity. They're saying like, great, that this is like finally being concluded. Anyway, am I missing something, or this is very short-term being discussed? It doesn't matter. Even if it's a short-term deal, it still doesn't matter. It's still good, especially if it's good enough that it will be ratified. And I know the negotiations committee is not going to bring back a deal to their rank and file that is not good enough to be voted on. So it must be promising. Let's keep going.
While striking actors are expected to use the WGA agreement as a template, they face some significantly different hurdles.
There are things that are transferable. However, there's a lot of things that are not transferable. For instance, the actors have asked for a much more significant basic wage increase.
Now, picketing has been suspended until the tentative contract is finalized and ratified. Late-night talk shows could return early next month. And Bellany says best case scenario, if actors can get back to the bargaining table, all of Hollywood could be back in full swing by November. Nate?
That's what I like to hear, Elise. One strike down, a couple more to go. We'll check back in with you later. Thank you so much.
No more. Thoughts and prayers to the scabbing talk show host who couldn't have waited 2 weeks. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Bill Maher and Drew Barrymore just like nutting too early is pretty great. Like they literally fucking just couldn't hold out. They were like, nah, that's no, we're going out to bat here. It's great. Yeah, Drew Barrymore ruined her good name just for them to reach an agreement days later. Oh, it's so funny, man. It's so good. SNL Sundays are back, baby. Yeah, I don't want to think about the bad stuff, okay? We want to think about the good stuff. I don't like that immediately people say, oh my God, this means SNL's coming back. Oh my God, this means that late night talk shows are coming back. I don't want to talk about all of the evil, the metric ton of evil that will be out there due to the writer's strike ending. I want to talk about the positives, okay? Dune Part 2 incoming now. Think about One Piece live action. Mike is back now. Start the strike back up. The reboot of The Office will be announced once the strikes are lifted. No. Yeah, never mind. See, this is what I mean. Stop it. Stop it. I am trying desperately not to be anti-solidarity here. Okay? Stop it. Do not. Stop. Maybe it was a good thing. Maybe it was a good thing that there was continued strikes. Stop it. Why you got to do this to me? Why do you have to do this to me? I don't like it. Dr. Kushena is going to be played by Jamie Lee Curtis in season 2 of One Piece live action. Jamie Lee Curtis' plea for One Piece role leads the response from showrunner. The star is Anglin played Dr. Kureha on the Netflix live action series that was promptly picked up for a second season. Wait, what? That's crazy. Wait. Nah, she almost scabbed. This led to Matt Owens, the series co-showrunner, alongside Stephen May, to write in the comment section, Mommy dearest, that's why we sent you that figure. No need to lobby. Once we get what we deserve, we get back to work. Let's talk. She's a massive One Piece fan? That's so sick. She's caught up to One Piece and you're not? Jamie Lee serving this. Her daughter loves One Piece and told her she should campaign like a year ago, and she became a fan. For the second time today, CNN reported Paris Trump's talking points about being pro-workers, citing his position that the electric vehicles will kill jobs. I'm gonna make way like the jobs that are supposedly being killed here for myself. Here's the SAG-AFTRA side of the conversation.
Says it has
Getting back to WGA.
reached a deal, tentative though it is, with major studios to end the Hollywood strike.
The new labor agreement comes nearly 5 months after writers took to the picket lines. Terms of the agreement have not yet been made public, but union negotiators are calling the deal exceptional. They say it was only possible because of the leverage generated by the strike and the support and solidarity of other unions.
Elise Preston joins us now from Culver City, California with more. Elise, good to see you. Details.
Her daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis' daughter, is a fan, which led her to her becoming a fan. And her favorite character is Robin. Shut the fuck up. That's good taste. That's good taste. That's good taste. God damn. Jamie Lee Curtis' favorite character is Nico Robin. Literally the best. Literally the best. Holy moly. Woo! Short clips of Jamie Lee talking about Nico Robin at Comic-Con.
To become anyone from Any TV show, who would you be?
That's a good question. I'd be Nico Robin from One Piece.
That's so fire! No, I didn't know that.
What did she say? I don't know who I would be, and I'm having a panic attack. You don't know if she said that. I don't.
Wow. That makes me so stoked. That makes me excited, dude. Not on the Scream Queens panel, Lamau. She loves Tony Chopper. It's fine. That's okay. Anyway, the CNN one we're going to talk about in a second.
Those are not public. Have we been able to pry anything loose? What do we know about what's in the deal?
Yeah, the details are not public. Good afternoon to you, Tony and Lilia. But we do know from insiders, they are also chiming in along with WGA leadership that the deal did swing in their favor. From what we're told, there are protections around the AI use. So the WGA had been asking for restrictions there. It appears that they have gotten those, as well as writing room minimums. They wanted to have more writers.
I don't get it. I thought that this was like unmanageable. I thought that this would never happen. I mean, I got so many assurances that these demands were just unjustifiable. And yet here they are being justified. Like I don't understand it at all. Maybe it wasn't unjustifiable and you should stop listening to bosses saying certain things are unmanageable when they certainly are, you know?
In the room as they are producing and writing this content. So those were two major sticking points that were holdouts for the last several days, or really the last several weeks, over this 146-day strike. And we are told that the writers were able to swing that in their favor.
So, Elise, the agreement still, as I understand, needs to be ratified by union members. Do we have an idea of the timeline for when that vote's going to happen and when we can expect to see people start working?
So it should be about a couple weeks before writers get back into the swing of things with work. We do know that the union leadership is expected to vote to end the strike tomorrow. And then that goes to the larger membership and they have to vote. So keep in mind, there are 11,500 members in the union. They all have to vote before that is finalized and ratified. This is not the first time that the WGA has been on strike. In 2007, 2008, it was a couple weeks since they were able to get back to work.
And at least the actors have not reached a deal with the major studios as of yet. At least we've not heard anything.
Do you think there may have been pressure on the execs from other unrelated industry execs for them to appeal to the striking workers due to how positive a lot of the sentiments? No, they always express solidarity. The bourgeois class, capital owners, are completely aware of their class position and what their class interests are. And they will always defend those class interests because they know that comes with the recognition that, like, oh, these workplaces are unionized and they're actually demanding more from the profits that we are able to accumulate off of their surplus labor value. If they get their demands, then it might come for us as well. You know? So it's not dissimilar to the rigid IP control that, for example, Bill Gates pushed for with the AstraZeneca like Oxford vaccines that originally came out. If you remember, it made no sense for like American business owners to be like, no, do not fucking give away the patent for this fucking vaccine. Like, why would you not want that? You quite literally are a business owner and you want people to get vaccinated. You want this distribution to be immediately released so that we can do mass inoculation campaigns and everyone can get back to work so they can pay $5 a month to avoid the top of the hour ad break at the HasanAbi broadcast. Like, as a business owner myself, that's what I wanted. You know what I mean? I wanted you to be able to have $5 from your work that you could easily just fucking dump in here, right? Because let's be real, you're watching on company time, on the company dime. But as I was saying, the reason why Bill Gates did that, despite the fact that like vaccines being mass produced by whoever would have truly made the mass inoculation campaigns much faster, right? Globally. The reason why he had this perspective, despite the fact that it went against his best interests at the time, was because, you know, once the Pandora's box is open and we now feel more comfortable releasing patents due to public considerations or like a pandemic happening, then what else can they open up patents for? You know what I mean? And that's a big part of it. Patents are another way of doing enclosures, right? So if your job at Microsoft relies on, if your net worth relies on Microsoft continuing to hold patents, then around the software side, then you don't want any kind of, you don't want that to be the norm. You don't want people to like recognize that like maybe patents are bullshit.
Tentative or otherwise, do we know where things stand with them? What needs to happen for those two sides to strike a deal?
Yeah, we're on day 74 for the SAG-AFTRA strike, and they have been asking for some of the same protections that the WGA had been asking for, but the actors are also asking for higher minimums. In addition to that, they want 2% of the streaming revenue, since streaming is such a huge way that people are consuming content now. The producers have already said that that would not happen, that was a non-starter, so it'll be interesting to see. The writer strike was 146 days. We are on day 74 of the SAG-AFTRA strike.
Oh boy, we'll stay tuned. Elise, Preston, thank you.
So yeah, good news on that front. Exciting stuff happening on that front. But yeah, UAW is on the other hand expanding walkouts as Payday 3 fixed matchmaking. You can play it now. First of all, I don't know. I keep seeing Muda complain about it. But thank you for the 192 NIO. I don't know what that is. What is NIO? Nicaraguan dollars? I saw some boomers on Facebook talking about how the bourgeoisie means middle class and that billionaires aren't a part of it. Google was saying semantics. Can you explain why that's a thing? The irony is that boomers are on Facebook are not wrong. Bourgeois can mean middle class. It just means bourgeois is a distinction not made on how much money you make every year. It's how you make your money. Capital ownership versus wage labor. And technically, middle class, a lot of small business owners would be considered petite bourgeoisie, which is like, you know, people who have an ownership stake, people who have the same exact interests that, you know, mass capital owners have, like massive corporate overlords have, but they're just simply in the small business side. So they're doing that. There are plenty of people in America that make less money than I do that still are under the banner of being bourgeois, petite bourgeoisie, which means that they make less money than I do year over year, but they still make their money off of, you know, cutting people's wages, or rather exploiting them by taking their surplus labor value and using it however they see fit. So yeah.